Hey guys, welcome to another stream. And not wearing the goofy hat today. Instead, I'm wearing the my yard hat. My grandson is out doing the yard, so I figured I'd put on my yard hat for right now. He might sneak in and steal it in a little bit because it's sunny out there, and I wear it because it keeps the sun off my head. Hey Dan, so let me go back up to the top of the stream and keep those ears safe. Yes. Well, everybody else here would say keep my bald spot from getting sunburned. Hello, Nat. Welcome. So let me go back up to the top and say hello to everybody. Good afternoon, Eric and Donnie, and let's see, Kenny, Shu. Donnie's here, but maybe he's not. Donnie keeps disappearing. Just last night, at least. Dan Harris, welcome. Nat, and anybody else who's out there lurking. By the way, guys, this is my second favorite Goofy cup. You don't have to be goofy to work here, but it helps. So, like it says in the description, today I'm going to be working on the Ghostbuster car, and unfortunately it is, yes, good Lipton tea. Unfortunately, it is the last issue I have right now, and there's nothing that I can do. Yeah, you did. I know you did, Donnie. But we have to hassle you because you won, and then it took you like 3 days to respond. But this is the last issue I have for the Ghostbuster car. Really sad. I'm enjoying the build, and it's been my exclusive for the last several weeks while I use the, 5 or 6 issues that I ordered at one time. So it is what it is. It looks like Eaglemoss is finally starting to ship Enterprise parts, and I did some work on the Enterprise on Friday evening. I took the windows off, and those of you that watched the stream on Friday, I know you are, Kenny. I know that multiple times I've almost gotten you to buy this thing. But so here's what I was doing on the Enterprise. I'll diverge for just a second. So this is one of the panels, and there used to be the little windows that Eaglemoss provided in here. Only one slightly more often than Shu. True, I win a lot. I don't know why. But there used to be little plastic windows in here, and I think my opinion the whole time has been that they give you those because it makes you feel like you're doing more. And I'm not doing these windows anymore because they are a pain in the butt. Have to do 3 gift certificates. That's terrible. But and the windows don't stay in very well, and they tend to put gaps in here, and also that make these panels not line up right on the frame itself. So what I'm doing now instead is using some UV resin. Works really good, looks really good. This will be what I'm working on for the next few weeks. The Enterprise, doing the windows, and then doing the 2, because I've got one that's supposed to be coming up. We're doing the 2 issues that I'm going to have, and I'll keep working on the Enterprise until the shipments dry out, and then going to move over to the fan home. Iron Man, and after that start on the Route Master. So Kenny has to do gift certificates from last night. Let me move the keyboard so we can actually flip over. And all of these I'm enjoying a lot, but it's frustrating. Well, it's not as frustrating as it was like with the with some of the other ones, like the R2-D2. There was some, I don't think it was major hiatuses, but there was some hiatuses. The DeLorean really sucked because it was 7 months. It was between October and May, actually 9 months, October to May, that I didn't get issues. So I have multiples going, and I'm going to try resin in the bridge assembly. Not sure. Probably not any of the assemblies that have the windows that that are single piece of plastic rather than the little bitty things. And actually, here's one right here. These things suck. And if you look at the part wrong when you're trying to put it together, they pop out and go everywhere. So these, I'm not gonna do these anymore. But like the ones that are large pieces, I'm going to leave them in place. Maybe I might get excited and redo them. Welcome, Oz. How are things down there in Australia? So yeah, like I said, I might do the larger pieces. Probably not. I did notice that when I was using the Tulip Slick, it works, but it does get a little bit bulky. And when I put the first test panels from Friday together, what you guys didn't see was that the holes in the resin, some of the holes, the tulip came squirting out the backside because it wasn't 100% dry. So I'm going to leave. I'm probably not going to use the slick the way I did. Sun yet to come up. Going to be a nice month. That's right. It's tomorrow there. Speaking of Monday, I have tomorrow off. I took leave. Might throw together a stream, might not. Not sure what I'm going to do yet. But now the slick takes a little bit longer to dry, and it stacks up. It doesn't stop the part from going together, but it's messy. Hey Chris, welcome to the stream. So I'm gonna you're off every day these days, Donnie. You're gonna have to learn how to put points in a car soon. But I might use the tulip using a paintbrush, but I'm not gonna put it in with the little applicator tip here. So enough about the Enterprise. And, well, it's like I said to Kenny in the Discord a little bit ago. Matter of fact, before somebody starts doing the beep check, let me just make sure. Oh, I already have it muted. Cool. But, what was I going to say? No, I might use the tulip with the paintbrush. But I got to do something that makes it thinner. And what I am doing is I'm holding it up to the light. Great. I see that I'm frozen. Come on, YouTube. There we go. But, yeah, I'm holding them up to the light to make sure that there's no light leaks. I did notice. Hey, Jalen. Okay, didn't freeze there. It did for me. I actually pay attention to it, to the window right here. But no, for the escape pods, I'm going to have to wait and see. I may end up taking things apart and painting the back sides of them as well to light block. But we're actually not here for the Enterprise. I got really kind of excited because I haven't touched the Enterprise since, I think, October. I'm glad to be able to get back to it. So let me flip over to this one. Actually, let me flip here first real quick. And Car is, sorry about the band lines. I can't help that. Car is here on the bench. I will flip it over to the other bench as needed. Let me see if it'll switch. It did. Okay. You came to the wrong stream. We talked Enterprise, Donnie. You should be happy. And you should be even happier because the Enterprise is going to come back on Tuesday and stay back for a little while at least. Donnie decided to send his prize to Shu. Not really, but and that's the thing. Last night during the raffle, I even put in, when Kenny went back and said we're giving away the one last kit, I went back in and bought a raffle ticket and said give it to Shu. Shu can't even win with my luck. The gods of raffles hate you, Shu. I don't know why. Let's see. So I brought stuff over. I just didn't get it out yet. I was chatting on Discord and all of a sudden was like, oh wow, stream. So get these extras out. That's the one that belongs to the Ecto. I think that if you did a shoe only raffle, that it would still pick Johnny. I think what it is that, truthfully, Streamlabs hates Donnie. Hey, Lewis, welcome to the stream. Okay, so last time, and just let those of you playing at home who watched, still have not put this door on, not going to. The next issue, 107, that I'm supposed to get, is supposed to have the replacement for this door. There's a gnat in here. And I'm not talking about you, gnat. I'm talking about a little bug. But there's supposed to be a replacement. I'm supposed to with issue 107, which is the next one that I'm supposed to get. This is supposed to, or not issue 107, it's going to be issue 29 with stage 107. This mirror fixture isn't going to be on there. I'm going to wait and see. I may or may not leave it this way. If they give me a mirror to put on there, I'll probably leave it the way it is. Although I do know that I looked at it and I broke one of the stubs off of the flap window there. But I fortunately have a... Hey, Spence. I fortunately have another issue with that glass in it. So, like I was saying, this is what I did this is where I ended last time. And I've got the, basically it was the hinge. I could have sworn. Okay, no, there wasn't a door lock in there. I thought there was supposed to be a door lock already in there. The hinge and the handle is all that it had me put on last time. Wait, what did it? Yeah, you two again. But I find you guys entertaining when you do that, because married people, we tend to rag on each other a lot. Okay. So in here, there is the vent that goes here, which a lot of people complained. Yes, yes. A lot of people complained about the vents on the hood because it has screws on the top. And I don't find it to be a big deal. Mike Lane did come out with a mod to replace them. I'm not going to change mine out. They are the way they are. And then, let's see, we got these screws, the frame that goes around the window here, and the trim pieces. And this is actually a really short stage because the only thing there is to do here, let me see, just carefully bend it so it matches the curve of the window. So the only thing to do in this stage is to gently bend these. They say to bend them. It shouldn't have to be bent because the glue is really pretty good. Let's see. Cheaper than divorce. So I'm putting a slight curve in this piece. It's not exact, but it's close enough that the glue's gonna hold it down pretty firmly. Let me do this for the same thing for the other one. Looking for. See? And that's the truth right there. That's not going to end your existence. You suffer more if you still alive. This one is just a hair bowed up, but it'll fit good. Yeah, Chris is still after the girl from Kenny's group build. I think this one should be fine being straight. There's nothing left in that pack. Yeah, this one, slight curve, but not enough to actually worry about it. Pick an old woman this time, Kenny, just to mess with Chris. So like I've done before, I'm taking the Ecto to peel the backing and not the glue off. Yes, do a Mrs. Claus, an old Mrs. Claus, just to mess with Chris. So that goes on here. Press it down. And like I said, the glue is going to hold this pretty well. It is pretty impressive glue. So that one goes on there. You can see the slant here where this one is going to line up. The 45-degree corners. Enough of a headache with that, let alone adding more. Absolutely. One is enough. Love my wife to death, but one wife is enough. This one is slightly off. I'm having to. It said to bend it. Actually, instead of bending it this way, I had to bend it up. Oh, and anybody who's interested, my son has graduated his air traffic control school and is now he was en route yesterday. He'll be en route today, the last leg of his trip from Kenai, Alaska to Juneau, Alaska. They get on the ferry tonight, this afternoon. They'll be in Juneau this evening. He'll be meeting up with his friend that is an air traffic controller. His friend who is now his boss. They're going to meet up, and not sure when he starts work. I know he's got to still find a place to live. I will pass that on to him. It is a job I would never want, but it's going to be a good job for him. He's actually, if what he has been told is true, he will actually be making more money than me within the next 2 to 3 years. I've been in government service for 11 years now, not counting my military service. Okay, so that's got those on. They will go, next stage, they will go in here, or this part will go in here like so. I'm just going to set it in there. This is going to be interesting because there's tabs on the bottom and lugs on the top that fit in at about a 45-degree angle. So it's going to take a little bit of flexing. I'm not going to mess with it and break it now. I'll break it in a few minutes. I can agree with you on the first wife thing, but here's the other thing. After the first wife, what you do is you live well and outlive her. Usually to make the big money, you have to put on pants and leave the house. That is true. That is true. But I'm okay with it. And actually, I do make fairly decent money. So on here, you've got the two holes, bright lights and white metal. The two holes where these two lugs will fit in, and you can see the screw holes there in the middle. Unit group build. Yeah. Cool shoe. I didn't actually get around to doing a Star Wars group build this year. I got too involved with too many other things going on. Eric, I think you're probably going to be the only one that's getting involved with that group build. Just saying. Okay, so tighten this down. By the way, these are EP screws, which, if you've watched, you know the P stands for plastic. You feel left out. You don't have an ex-wife. You can always fix that if you're married. If you're not married, that's hard to fix, because then you got to get married first. Okay. So, next page. Stage 104. And I'm looking at this. Hang on, let me go backward. Yeah, it's got it separate. Stage 104, which is the window. And it honestly looks like, oh, I see what, I'm sitting here looking at the page thinking, when I'm seeing the window, them sliding the window in, they're sliding it in here, but actually it's into here. Yeah, well, you know, Lewis, I'm not looking to gain another ex-wife. Andrea and I get along pretty well together. We have our moments, but we get along pretty well. We had a moment yesterday at Home Depot. They do actually get worse. And no throwing away models. No binning your models. That's a bad thing. So I am not going to, just for one window, go grab a pair of, about to lose some screws. I'm not going to go grab a pair of gloves this time. I'll just grab it with the towel. The gloves make my hands sweat. Now that I've got it by the edges, it should be fine. And I'm looking because it shows it kind of sliding up in there, but it doesn't. It just sits in here. Have a great day, Oz. Enjoy your day at work, and don't work too hard. It's Paige's fault. Bloody kid's 5-year-old, and she wins a prize at a model show, and I win nothing. That's funny. Your kids are outdoing you on models. Still not really a reason to throw them away. I mean, you did your best. Just because a 5-year-old outdid you, I mean... Let's see if I can get this in here. Let me see what it says. Holding these parts together, corresponding gap. Okay, doesn't really say. I'm guessing it's going to be easier if I do this from the top. Get the 2 lugs in the top first. Maybe not. Because with the 2 lugs in at the top, look at how much I've got overlaying on the window there. So let me back this up and put the tabs and the window down first. Truly, with the as tight as this is, there's probably no reason for screws. There's one. There's the other. And it's in. Then on the back side, there's a hole here and here for the 2 tabs, not tabs, lugs on the top. And then you've got the tabs here, holes for screws there. And these are going to be interesting. Okay, EP. P screws up here because it's going into the frame. M screws down here because it's going into the door. These are BM screws that go into the door. Hey, Kaylin, how's your back? For those of you who don't know, Kaylin went through back surgery this past week. Eric knows all about back surgery. Yeah, not good, but you're here. I understand that. Hopefully it gets better as you go. I'm not contemplating it. I know I'm going to have it eventually. It's just when the surgeon finally says, yeah, your back is bad enough. Yeah, there is that. Oh, it was rescheduled. I thought that's why you were gone last week. That really sucks. I mean, I remember Coffee with Kaylin did not happen, and I'm sitting here. This window is sitting on the desktop, and I don't want it scratched. Come on. Again, you hear the screwdriver squeaking against my hand. And by the way, Kaylin, you missed it. This is the last issue I have for the Ghostbuster car. So starting on Tuesday's stream, I will be going back to the Enterprise. Well, see, what you're supposed to... Well, I forget you've got that shoebox house there in California. What you're supposed to do is just say, here, you can have this room. Because the patio room where I'm in right now, where my shop is, I haven't received any parts for the Ecto since October. They came out with this thing that said buy 4 months at one time, and I'm like, yeah, sounds great. And they haven't shipped me anything ever since I got those 4 months. But what I was saying is, here in the shop, my wife and I set me up in the shop, here in the shop, which is our sunroom, patio, whatever you want to call it. They call them sunrooms in Illinois. But I'm in the sunroom, and because I work from here as well, you know, there's no room, and really it isn't a big enough room for 2 people to work in as well. So where I've got my stash, we're actually, as soon as my son leaves tomorrow, another story, he's getting his Austrian citizenship. But as soon as he leaves tomorrow, we'll start working on getting her set up where my stash is. Enjoy, Chris. Jessica, wait. Hang on. She wants me to move to the kitchen or the garage, but it's too hot or too cold in the garage throughout the year. Garage is not bad if you buy a... when we were in California, we bought a portable air conditioner for the garage. Wasn't too bad. And I've had gas heater out there in the winter. I posted on... I think I posted it on Discord. If not, there's a picture of my old shop in California in the garage. Really nice setup. Just reading. Yeah, Shu's got a pretty small area. Shu and Donnie both have small areas to work with. But no, the garage is not bad if you have an air conditioner out there and then you have a heater in the winter. And nice thing about the garage, because I actually would do this when I was in Yuba City. We're doing a members stream today? That was yesterday, I think. You actually, Kaylin, you weren't there. Eaglemoss said they were starting to ship delayed part works collections again, like Enterprise and Eleanor, but never mentioned the Ecto. Thought that was weird. Oh, okay. So, Shu, what you should do is get a little gas heater instead. That's what I had in the garage in California. Still have the heater. And we use it occasionally. Wow, I am way off track. I was talking about where we put my wife. My wife's hobby room is actually my stash room. We share that. So putting the door lock in here, you guys should have seen this before. I'll show it to you once I get it in. It is keyed a specific way, and Yeah, I got it in there. Wow, that sticks out of ways. That actually sticks way out for a door lock on this of this scale. That's on there. And if you weren't here for last stream, this sticker I did not put on. This sticker was actually already on. Have a model space so everything is done from our dining table. That's not, well, it depends on what you've got going on, because the nice thing about my shop, Nat, is it's large enough that I've got, let me think, 1, 2, 3, I actually have four projects sitting on various surfaces here. I put my wife's hobby room is upstairs in my stash room. You know, it's one of these things of, we did share rooms in the past, but she does stained glass, and when she does stained glass, it throws glass everywhere. So we both decided that the safety first, I'll be in a different room. A model building compound, I would do that. Actually, I occasionally think about the building that Omar built, and the lot for my yard is not big enough, but I would be sorely tempted to do something like that. 135th Dora ain't got the room. Well, you see the size of the models I build, Lewis. They're huge. I also build smaller ones, and Andrea loves the large scale models like this. She's looking forward to the Route Master just like I am. Yeah, and I'm with you there, Nat. It's like we were talking yesterday on the Friday on the on the Stooges Live, as we ended up calling ourselves. I was talking about the fact that between all of the benches I have in here, I have about 25 to 27 feet of space for modeling. Remember having to do that in our apartment in New York City. Yeah, I remember that too, Kenny, when you were streaming from the small table. Just ended up renting an office space where he and his wife do all of their modeling. That would be cool, Kaylin, if I could find something like that right next to the house. Just driving across town does not sound like fun to me. Okay, I've been starting to put parts together and not saying anything. Let me rewind a little bit here. So I'm about to do the latch on this door. It goes in here. It'll poke out there. The retainer hits here. It's got a pin and a screw to hold it together. This is the latch itself. Goes onto the spring here. And the retainer holds it like that. This is one, I've said it every time I've done this. This is an interesting process because somehow I've got to hold this thing in place and put a screw in at the same time. It goes in there, if I can get it like that. You can see the screw hole right there is about right. So let me put this screw in. And I'm ignoring chat for the moment. I'm with you there, Shu. Need to win the lotto. But we're in the home we're going to retire in, unless we win the lotto. Lewis will eventually have to open a museum. That's something else that's nice in this house. we've got a huge house and just the two of us. So, well, eventually just the two of us. I've got my son and my grandson here right now, but eventually just the two of us in this huge house. So I've got a separate room for display. It's not quite tight enough. Brent, lock up and lock that in there, and the kids. Every weekend I'm home. She's already an antique. Wow. So there's the latch in place, and if you look, when I depress it, it works. That will actually go into the car here in a moment. Yeah, Lewis, you have witnesses that if Nat kills you, it was probably justified. It's been nice knowing you, Lewis. Okay. Next part of the door. This is actually going to be the last part of the door because this is where it will actually go into the car in this step. I am pretty sure, Shu, that Lewis sleeps with both eyes open. If he sleeps. That's why he's got a job that's got him on the road all the time, so that he can sleep. Okay. So we've got the back panel, bottom and top trim. Actually, I think that's the other way around. I think this is the top and this is the bottom. Guessing that's part of the hinge. Door handle, screws, and the silver trim pieces for the door. Somebody else write your eulogy because Nat's not very good. Yeah. That's the problem. Every time, Lewis, you start digging a hole, you keep digging it deeper. And Nat just is going to shove you in one day. Let me see if I can get this one on, then I will show how it goes on here on the second one. I got excited and started putting this down before I showed it. And hey, just like 59 caddy trim, it's actually trying to peel. So here's the first one in place. There's a hole here, here, and here. This one, but these pins, there's a pin here and here and here that go into those holes. Wow. That's all I got to say, Lewis, is wow. Trying to get hurt. These things are always a little bit funky to get in here. My biggest concern is always that I'm going to snap one of them off. But if I do, I'll just super glue it on. There is that too. So that's the thing too, Kaylin. My wife can never kill me because I bring home plenty. So that is the door trim in place. Oh, and by the way, Kaylin, when I start working on the Enterprise on Tuesday, you might want to watch, because I believe you got rid of your parts, but you may find that you were premature, because doing the windows, I think, is going to work out really well. But, you know, as they say, you do you, man. So, Kenny, did a cat just jump on your keyboard? Are you letting Max type? So let me get the first one of these out, because there are 3 of these EP screws that I'll be using shortly. Oh, okay, 2 of them popped out, and I'll put the 3rd one away. Yeah, could be. It's been nice knowing you, Kenny, if you're getting killed. So that's what the chicken salad sandwich says. Okay. So as I've shown before, and actually I had this upside down. This goes on here like this. There's a keyway right there. The key on the door handle fits into. And it's not 100%. It does have some play. Yeah, I think you still owe Shu a sandwich. Just as long as you didn't drop the sandwich in onto the stream deck, that would be really bad. So screw goes in the back here. A Wawa sandwich. I didn't know he had a new keyboard. Actually, once the screw is in there and tight, no play. And there's the screw in the back. Thankfully, it wasn't the soda or tea. I have 1 cup, in case anybody's curious, I have 1 cup of coffee a day in the morning, and the rest of the day I drink tea. So this is the smaller piece. This piece actually, I was thinking it went over the window. It actually goes on the door itself. There are lugs for screws there that line up with these 2 holes on the top, but I don't think they actually, maybe. They do extend far enough to actually sit down in the holes. And it actually looks like a cushion then. And I'm thinking that's actually the way it would look in the actual car. There, another Wawa. You know, Shu, one of these days you're going to get a package in the mail, and it's going to have been in transit for like 3 weeks, and you're going to open it, and it's going to be a sandwich. It's burning the salad. Let me try this again. Yeah, you would have your sandwich then. I wouldn't eat it, but you would have gotten your sandwich. Homemade chicken salad. That is actually really, really good. Speaking of salads, because we're starting to warm up here, I mean, only supposed to get up to like 72 here today. You know what? Just looking at this, I'm going to take this back off. I'll show you why as soon as I get it off. It's only supposed to get up to 72 here, but it gets humid here in Illinois. And so we're going to start doing a lot of salads. Get sandwiches, we have to go to Jersey Mike's. Four small packages of parts. They do that. Your mom comes all the way to Florida to make you a sandwich. Cook dinner every night. That's nice. So, I don't know, there, you can barely see it on camera. There's the spots where they took it from the sprue, and I had those facing up. I've changed it around, so now they're facing down and you can't see them. Sandwiches we miss here are Cousins. They were up in Milwaukee, and they're good. Especially their BLT. The bread that they have is just so good. I can say spoiled, because I'll be honest, Andrea spoils me. Unlike Nat and Lewis. Actually, I'm pretty sure based on hang on. Apparently I missed something where Lewis said something about Nat's cooking. Oh, okay. Yeah, the salad. But my guess is that for everything that the two of them throw at each other, they are very, very compatible with each other. Dealing with little shits all day, and she's pissed off when she comes home. And so you have Subway and well, you're out in the middle of out in the sticks there, Spence. I just hope Kelly doesn't have a really bad day with the kids, because comes home and cooks you a turpentine omelet or something like that. Okay. So this part here, like I said, goes at the top. And there are two screw holes in it. Slight lugs here that line up with or slight holes there that line up with the lugs up here on the top. It slides on here. I'm gonna make sure I'm getting this right. Yeah, it goes on there like that, covers the top of the window, and two screws go in there. They are SM screws. Wow. That sucks that she had to disarm a kid. You know, and the sad part is the kid's the only one who gets in trouble in the cases like that. I think in a case like that, you know, not only should the kid get in trouble, but the parents should be held responsible for the monsters that they have raised. Unfortunately, last 20 years, it's been the school system supposed to raise our kids, not us raise our kids. The kids don't get in don't get in trouble. That sucks. That is completely asinine. Do they at least, I hope, expel the kids? Of course, that on the other hand, the kids are like, yay, I'm out of school, don't have to go. Yeah. Just terrible. Okay. So I got out the screws here. Door panel is going to go on. You can see the holes here. Slight indents rings here for the lugs that are on the door. One here, here, and here. Ah, okay. I was just looking at the instructions trying to figure out what that piece is, but that is goes on part of the car itself on the back holding in the door switch. So this just sits on here like that. She runs a chance of getting in more trouble than the kid for doing what she does. Defending herself and her students, and she can get in trouble. And then people in this country wonder why we have gun or violence problems in the schools. I don't think you could pay me enough to be a teacher. And I actually thought about doing that when I retired. Okay, there's screw number 4. Get these all tight. Oh, okay. I just realized what this piece is. I looked at the instructions just a little bit better. This piece, as you'll see in a minute, holds the door on. So now let me move these screws out of the way. I did. Let me put this door away. Put this door out of the way here. Because it's not going to be sitting on its top, I can move this. Kid here at my elementary school that was 3rd grade attacked and assaulted the teacher, putting her in the hospital, and the kid was back in school the next day. Wow. Yeah, I'm not surprised the teacher ended up quitting. It's things like that. They were secondary reasons, but they were part of the reason that our kids all finished school in homeschooling via the internet. Okay. Heavy. Oh. Matter of fact, let me move the mic. Let me get inventive here. See what I can do. Okay, this is now spanning the gap between 2 tables. And what I'm gonna do is flip from here down to this one. The only thing is, am I gonna be able to see to do it? Okay, so I'm put the book over here where I can't see it. And just, okay. So this switch here has to go in to where it can fold this way when the door shuts. It goes in this spot right here. Actually, that's kind of cool. I can look at the camera. Oh, about to lose the car. Hang on, let me pull this over to where I can actually see it. It goes right there. It is attached using a HM screw. The HM screws are pretty long. I agree completely, Kaylin, and that is part of the reason we got out of that state and will never go back. Because it's not just the kids, it's the whole system there. Get this swung around here. Okay, that is tight. And so when the door shuts, where did I put the door? Oh, it's actually the hinge that does it. When the door shuts, this part of the hinge is going to come in through here and hit the switch, which is going to close, it's going to open the circuit so the light can't go on. All the doors have something similar. And then this thing is forever long, probably will wrap around the bottom here over to this side, because everything, all the electrical connections are here or up here in the front. You can't see it. Up, all the electrical connections are on the left-hand side. So let me put this in here. That should, yeah, once I put the part on and screw it down, that should hold it in place. And we've got 3 RM screws. Again, as always, 2 that get used, 1 spare. Wow. Had to shoot an inmate while transporting. I'll tell you right now, if I ever, we don't own a gun currently, probably shouldn't say that. Shot him. He didn't make it. She was suspended and then fired. Self-defense. See, and that's the thing. If I ever own a gun, and if I ever have reason to use it, I'll use it again if they're not dead. So here's the hinge cover that I was looking at earlier. Got a screw in there, a screw here. His family sued the sheriff's office and won because he, never mind. So let me tighten that one down. Gap looks the same on either side. That just does not look like it's holding right. Hopefully it will firm up as we put panels on, because right now this door sucks. Yeah, shoot, don't forget Oregon. Oregon's pretty much the same way. As it sits there, actually, it looks really good, but hopefully something is going to straighten the bottom of the door out. I don't know if you can see it as it shifts, but it looks good. It's almost like that pin is not sticking out enough, but it is. But it does open. Opens wide. No, actually, it is terrible the way they've done it. And truly, in the last decade and a half, police officers have been made to be scapegoats on a lot of stuff. But as soon as something happens to anybody who's against them, it's all, where were you? I needed you to be here to protect me. It is just, here, let me close it. Make sure I'm not catching anything. Just the one right here. But Kaylin, I don't know if you've watched, pop this one open. Same thing. All the doors are hanging on just the one. The rest of them have latched in a little bit better than this one. And I'm not positive what it is. But in actuality, I'm not going to be playing with it. I'm not going to be driving it around. Yeah. You know, when it's displayed, it will probably be displayed like this with the gurney rolled out with the proton packs on it. Yeah. They're not crappy. They're just, they could use some work. I'm actually pretty impressed with the fact that they made them work as well as they do. The front doors are, you know, they hold pretty awesome. So HN. Yeah. And it's been a while since I built the proton packs. I think I remember showing how I did a slight mod on them. There's lots of people that have modded the proton packs so that they look better. Okay, so let me switch this over. And move this 25-pound beast. And so the last pack for today, and oh, by the way, you can see that's what the assembly is supposed to look like. Last pack for the day, for today is, and who knows how long. I believe this is the right rear quarter panel. Right rear fender. I believe it. I believe it, Kaylin. Well, and that's the thing is that after I got the 4 months worth of packs, I held off on doing it for a while because all of a sudden they stopped, and I was hoping that they would actually start sending them, and it hasn't happened. So here's the fender. This is actually really just a piece of trim. And unfortunately, there's only 2 screws to do. And the most prolific, I think, that's close. DM and EM are the screws with the that there's the most of. So on here, wow, fits really well. On the back here, there are 2 lugs for the screws to go onto. Through these 2 holes here. Like I sat it on there. It goes on like that. One screw there. Sounds like my grandson might still be doing the yard. Which means for him to take over an hour on the yard means it was really tall. That is how it goes on here. You get this piece here. Let me see something. Yeah, I'm holding it up to the side of the car, the wrong side of the car. This, I believe, I mean, let's see if I can. Yeah, white is the panel here on the real car. I believe that's just a removable panel, so you can actually change the tires, because those tires on this thing are huge. And unfortunately, that's the last thing I got. But I may have to read this article. Guy's building a Titanic, a huge Titanic. So just because I have some extra time, we were talking about the proton packs. It's been a while since I showed the extra pieces. Wow. Just drop that extra screw. I don't remember if this one was as red as this one. I just thought it was kind of funny that I had, that came with the first one. What that was supposed to be after, if you didn't start right at the beginning, that turned into a magnet later on. This may end up on the hood. If I don't bend it all to pieces first. No, those screws are not going to play nice. I think that was Facebook. Only up to part 7. So you have a frame. And I do know that I think people are starting to get up to 20 shipped to them. And so you don't have any of the specials yet either, or you might. The first special that they offered, at least in the States, was the proton packs. And there have been a lot of people that have done visual mods to these. Came with proton packs and with the trap. The only problem is these parts, this wire. I think I have one piece of frame. The wire is actually a spring, and it just is really springy. It doesn't like to coil. Once it's in the car, I'll figure out something. It would have been nice if they could have put some sort of LED in here, but it is what it is. So yet the ghost trap, which is not bad. Oh, gauges. They also, I ended up with, no, it was only one. I was going to say two. They also screwed up the license plate because they made it look like it did in the movie, which it was cut off there, and because it was behind the metal. No, I did end up with the second one because my other one is on the car itself, but they replaced it. I just realized they didn't do a years thing here. Other pieces that are sitting in here. This is a spare frame. I've ended up with a couple of extra issues, or spare dash. But here on the proton packs, they're not bad. People have done some mods to them. I've seen people put some ribbon cable on here and everything. The only mod I did to mine was because these things just, they wouldn't stick. That square corner shouldn't be there. Oh, okay. What about 40 years ago, Kenny? Because that's when this was 85, 86-ish. But on the proton packs, I'm trying to remember where this is supposed to stick. There, okay. They didn't have any way, and people made brackets and everything else. And I'm like, I'm not going to go to all that effort and figure out a bracket. What I did was I just stuck, you can see there, I super glued a neodymium magnet inside and put one inside there. So I can actually have my proton pack when I store it either direction. That was before Kenny's time. No, it wasn't. Kenny's old like me. Not quite as old as I am, but he's old. Let's see. The packs, I should store them like this so maybe that spring will get a memory. And why is this one? Oh, I'm sitting here trying to put the wrong thing on it. Wow. So white screw stuck to this one. Not sure where that screw came from. Okay, it's not on the hood. But the proton packs will sit in the car just like that. Had those plates when I took over my dad's car. Proton packs, I think they did pretty good. You know, I'm going to modify a $1,600 model. I don't do a whole lot of that, but I am doing it on the Enterprise. So let me put these away, see if I can keep them with that spring coiled like that. They will probably come loose because that's my spare parts, or not really my spare parts, that's my parts waiting to go on. And my other parts that are waiting to go on. Like the steering wheel that I've had for since I don't actually, Kaylin, I think you might have it. And they did these for the DeLorean as well. They're supposed to hold the car. I put the car onto the frame. You don't. Okay. Soon. I have heard that people are starting to get parts. But then Dan said earlier that they talked about, sorry, noisy lid. They talked about they're going to start shipping parts for the Enterprise, and I don't remember what the other one was. 50, is that all? Wow. Yeah, 50, because I remember 47. I remember you saying when you turned 47. But, oh, wait. I just realized I'm leaving a part out. And I have multiples of these bins to store parts as I'm working on them. Or as, they get stored. So that when I don't have parts for months and months and months, they don't get damaged. We won't say that Kelly is also 50 this year, because Kelly will hit you if you say that. Say 50 is the new 30, but it doesn't work when you get pulled for doing 50 and a 30. Okay. So I guess 60 is the new 40? Yes, she is a very young lady. So, grandson, Jordan didn't come get the hat, so I'm putting the hat back on because my hair is a mess. Oh, that's awesome. Eric just posted something on Discord. What hair? I have hair. So does that make me a teenager again? Yes, Spence. You are now a teenager again. Oh, might help if I re-aim the camera, huh? Of course, if I would stop growing this crap, it would help a little bit. Yeah, see, the hair's a mess today. Heck with it. You guys have seen it before. You've seen Kenny without a hat. So that's all I've got for today, guys. The car is coming along. I'm really unhappy that I'm basically done with it for who knows how long. But I've got Enterprise parts. So starting Tuesday, I will be working the Enterprise again, but it's not going to... Tuesday's not going to be any specific pack. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to start back on issue 1, and I'm going to go through to where they do the windows. I'm going to do the windows. I'm going to paint the windows. I'm going to, as they get installed, I'm going to reinstall them the same way, because some of their wiring makes sense. A lot of it does not. I did get a free bowl of soup. Actually, this is my gardening hat, and you can see a little bit. It's just mesh here on the top. The only thing it's for is to keep the sun off my face. Thanks, Lewis. I appreciate it. So, that's all I got for you guys today. It's lazy Sunday afternoon, hour and a half. Shu has the same hat. So you've been spying on Shu, have you, Kaylin? So appreciate you stopping by. Had a good time. Wish I had more to do on the car, but looks like Lewis is still alive. Yes, he is. Thanks, Jalen. For any of you who are not subscribed, like and subscribe if you like this type of content. I do a lot of part works. I also do as Chris keeps poking at me, he likes to poke at me and say I don't do plastic models, but I do plastic models. I just don't do them very fast. Parts for the Queen Mary 2. Does have a penguin. Oh, your hat. So, appreciate you stopping by. Have a great day. Have a great week. Stay safe out there. Take care of each other. And we'll see you on Tuesday.